Welcome to Moultonborough, New Hampshire. Welcome, welcome. The castle in the clouds. We've never been here. Bringing you guys on an adventure. I feel like Indiana Jones. Halfway through this journey, I looked at Kay and I said, I just realized something. Remember, I don't like heights. And he said, it's a mountain view, not a cliff. And I said, we'll see. To be honest with you, I'm okay right now. Because even though we're high up, we're near ground level. And as long as I can see ground and it's not like a wide open space, I'm good. But look at this. Ding ding goes the trolley. All right, we got our stickers to get in. We're gonna take a trolley ride over to the house. Here is the gentleman who built this Lucknow estate, now known as the Castle in the Clouds. That is Tom Plant, not to be mistaken with Robert Plant. And he built this estate. You guys know I like talking about the American dream, kind of rags to riches, self-made man type of story. And this is exactly that. This guy started off working hard in a shoe company. And hey, anytime the story starts with a shoe company, that's gonna be close to this girl's heart. But he started there, ends up working his way to the top, and buys the company, becomes quite wealthy, and builds this incredible estate. It was something like 6,300 acres originally. I'm not exactly sure how much is left. It's a lot. We'll find out for you in a bit. The Welcome Center slash restaurant slash facilities. It's here that in 1913 and 14, Thomas Plant employed roughly 1,000 individuals to construct this. And dang, they built it in a year. But I guess when you have a team of 1,000, that is easier to do. So interesting to note that this in its current form is really just from 2006, which to me, you get a certain age and 2006 feels like yesterday. So the newly formed Castle Preservation Society began the epic journey. I love that. The epic journey to restore the castle in the clouds after taking ownership of the estate's historic buildings. So it is its own preservation society, privately owned and managed, not a national or state park. So that is why they can charge whatever and do things their own way. I've talked to you guys about this before. There's plus and minuses to that, but that is what we're working with today. Fortunately for us, this was included in our New Hampshire museum passport that we first bought up in Dover at the Woodman Museum, if you guys remember that, when we saw the newly installed Ninja Turtles exhibit. And I've talked before about what a great deal those books are. It has well paid for itself now multiple times over as we continue to use it. Just used it again, so no cost incurred for us today.
Want to look out to the right up here right now, you'll get an idea of the getting.
It's awful. I would rather rent a car. It was like half the people who were in the back.
Our trolley driver is an absolute trip, by the way. She's a character. Alright, that was a short ride.
I know, I wanted to eat this.
This I don't like. I'm kind of dizzy.
Did you see Mount Major?
Even with you guys.
Oh, no,
Oh yeah, I'm dizzy. So here we stepped into this room here. Looks like maybe a guest room. It's called the Blue Room. And I am absolutely loving these windows. And it says that there are 21 of these hand-painted enamel roundels located throughout the mansion. Decorative glass rounds built into the doors and windows to depict flora, fauna, and merry weather. Just kidding. Nearby lakes and waterfalls. They don't know who the artist is, but it may be people who worked at the glass manufacturing company that produced these beautiful windows themselves. It's a very unique shower setup. We have never seen anything like this. I'm not really sure why It's almost like a very handicap equipped.
Needle, whatever that. Unless there's micro holes on this, maybe. I don't know.
That is out of my area of expertise.
Needle shower, here we go.
Each wraparound pipe is punctured with small holes which create fine jets of water. Therapeutic massage for kidneys, ribcage, liver, and spine. Oh my gosh, Kay, can we get one? That'd be so good for my back. The notion that women were fragile contributed to one theory that showering might be harmful for females. Oh, that's funny. Yes, I'm just a delicate wildflower. This house is 10,000 square feet, so lots to explore. There was a golf course and tennis courts on here. The golf course still actually exists as a country club, and this appears to be a room where they stored some of their sporting equipment. Gonna take a minute here to have a great moment with Mr. Lincoln. And here is
Mr. Plant's office.
Mr. Plant's office, where he conducted business. Some
There's
of them,
his old factory.
some of that business eventually failed and the family went bankrupt. He had to lease this place back from a friend who took over the mortgage, and when they both died, and I think they said 1941, it became sort of a historic site.
He sold his business for $6 million, the largest factory in the world at the time,
That's crazy.
in Jamaica.
Jamaica Plains, yeah, in the Jamaica Plain neighborhood. Over by the Sam Adams Brewery. Interesting. Interesting because this place is arts and crafts style, which is not common at all in New England. Typically we have colonials, capes, Georgians, things like that. This is much more like we would see in the Pacific Northwest where we originally came from. So kind of interesting and cool to see a place this style in New England. Pretty amazing. I'm excited to explore. Wow. And Olive, his wife, was an organist. She played the organ. There is one there and one over there. This is a very interesting entry with a pool table right in the center of it. Okay, we're now in the dining room.
We had some real artisans here. This roof was destroyed, the ceiling.
Was it?
From water damage.
Oh.
You can see the pictures of it here. Whoops.
Yeah.
We had artisans come in and recreate it for us.
Oh my gosh. Rondell glass. These folks spared no expense when it came to furniture, and it was actually to their detriment because it contributed to them going for broke. They really went crazy when it came to the decor in here and having everything be just so and custom. Although I was talking to the lovely docent and saying, you know, this place is grand in a way, but it's also very livable.
It's a lodge.
It kind of has the lodge arts and craftsman feel. And I could see living in it. Like it's not like when we go to Newport, Rhode Island and tour some of the mansions that are just, you know, you feel like you shouldn't be there because they're so grand. This is grand but homey, although, man, my pantry isn't like this. I have a pantry, but it's not walk-in.
Refrigeration.
This is nice. And they had refrigeration, which is awesome for the time. And so we were saying too that the time period between 1941, when Plant passed away, and the person that was helping him with the financing, his friend that took over, they both died in 41. And that time between then and 1956, when a new person bought it and turned it into kind of a tourist destination, those were kind of the dark days. This place was vandalized, in bad shape. That is when this dining room incurred some water damage and things like that. And then the Preservation Society was formed, stepped in, took it over, and saved the day. And we were saying that that's really good because this could have gone the way of Madame Cherie's out in western New Hampshire. I've taken you guys there recently when we went over to Vermont a couple months ago, and you know that place is in really rough shape, vandalized, and then eventually burned down because people set it on fire, causing riffraff, and that didn't happen here. And that is why historic preservation is so important. And if you are a historic preservationist, you are my hero. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kay pointing out that having a phone state of the art. I mean, even the breakers had bells. Here,
They have a phone.
They had a phone that connected. And I like this floor plan. I mean, you can see over there is the entryway, and it kind of goes in an octagon with these series of doorways that go into one another. Ooh, what is this? Okay, so probably several staircases, and this must be one of them. I'm gonna wait a minute before I go up there. We gotta go down here and see what else, what is what. And just look at the views. I mean, I could do some baking prep work here. I might get a little distracted. Cookies might get burnt while looking at the view, but we've got some lovely roses out there, and you can see Lake Winnipesaukee and the surrounding mountains of beautiful New Hampshire. There's a coal-fired range for all your cooking needs.
No, maybe here.
They had a large area to go unique. I don't know why that's a little Disney World Haunted Mansion-y. Oh, this is cool. I love a place like this to just sit and read. Oh. Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte up there. Some very French artwork. Now this is more my style. I do like this. There's some more of that beautiful glass depicting local scenes. Here's a preview of the views outside.
This is a nice library. So look at that.
There was no small children.
No,
here.
no children. No,
No children at all?
no children at all.
Oh, interesting. I mean, there were a lot of years between them, so I
There were
wonder.
24 years between them, yeah. When he,
That'd
he
be a
looked
great.
at this as retirement. He didn't want to start a family possibly at that age.
Maybe they put the Brittany Spaniels in there.
Maybe.
I like these folks. They have a volume of Longfellow's work. Volume on British ports. That's some deep nerdery right there. That's the kind of wild rabbit holes I go down. I really like Napoleon. Bonsoir. We've got some Art Deco touches here, like this very interesting light fixture. And here is a portrait of Tom Plant himself. Tiffany glass up there. Into the servants' wing, they had a lot of staff, as great houses usually would. This is the gal who lived in this room, who worked for the Plants, helped them with the day-to-day of running the estate. Small bathroom here for the staff. Much larger, nice bathroom here for the Plants.
Look at that view.
The views are like really what make this extra special. I mean, it's not the grandest home we've toured. Certainly, you know, I think of Newport, I think of estates in Scotland, castles we've stayed in, places in England, and, you know, even places in California and stuff when it comes to grandness. But what this may lack in physical grandeur, you get in nature. And together it makes for quite the day. Amazing showers, 2 sinks, 2 commodes.
One on this end, one on the other end.
That's brilliant. We could still talk and hang out when we're going potty, imagine.
I didn't.
He's like, no thanks.
I didn't leave house where the guy had the 2
Did not have children. I guess there's 24 years between them is what it was. They were very active people, and even though there was a lot of age between them, they both enjoyed the outdoors, recreation, and they were kind of fun people, always active and on the go. They would go snowshoeing and sledding, hiking, played golf, tennis, things like that, and stayed plenty busy with their business ventures and outdoor activities, and just chose not to have children for whatever reason. So they had this place to themselves and their servants and guests. Yep.
And it would really depend.
Yeah. So I asked this docent if, you know, did he travel to Turkey or Morocco, and she's just explaining that nobody knows. It could be because he did do exotic travel. Could just be backdrop at one of the World's Fairs, which was also common. Tricks a lot of people when they're out antiquing and researching, because sometimes they got it pretty good. Those could just be props in a backdrop. Oh yeah. You can see all the lakes. Dressing room. Very nice setup. Very nice. I'd love some more of that Tiffany glass. There is a lot of natural light in here. Tea room here. Again, incredible view. Lovely bathroom. Love all the tiles. Yeah, again, you guys, I did not know how this day was gonna go. We talked about doing a lot of different things today. We were all over the place, and the boys just wanted to stay home and relax. And we were like, what should we do? And Kay kind of pushed for this because we've never been here, and he's always wanted to come up here. And it's pretty famous in New Hampshire as a place that a lot of people come visit. And my friend and coworker was like, you really need to go there. So I'm glad I listened. It's really cool that it was in the New Hampshire Museum Passport book. And this did not disappoint. Really cool.
Look, they take the train up to Wares Beach to get here.
Oh, that's fun.
And then could ferry across the lake to Center Harbor.
That's fun. And when
Could
we're
find a coach or wait for the chauffeur to retrieve them.
And I think when we're done here, we'll check out town and stuff. I'm gonna need something to drink for sure. Pretty thirsty, maybe a little something, and we'll take a look at maybe Moultonborough or Center Harbor or something. Get closer to the lake. The views are 360. Just amazing. Asked one of the docents. They weren't partiers or anything like that. Olive's family, I guess, would come stay sometimes, and then the second people that ended up buying this place did have children and grandchildren that would pile in here. But when the plants lived here, it wasn't buzzing like, you know, some estates would be of the time. So it was really just their kind of cozy retreat. This is a cool room.
Look at the floor. How it all comes.
Yeah, pretty.
And more of the stained glass.
All that glass. This is called the Brown Room. These telephones. This will probably be my thumbnail. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is what it's about right here, folks.
The house has wooden gutters.
Wooden gutters? Wouldn't that rot? You just replace them. There is kind of a cool storybook
It is Disney.
vibe. It is, isn't it? Wow. 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 This is open seasonally. Normally that aggravates me, but honestly the drive up here helped us to understand why that is. It is a one-way road. You come in a different way than you leave, and it's very winding. There's a lot of cliffs, no guardrails, very bumpy, and definitely would not be good in the winter. But oh my gosh, this is pretty. This looks fake. This looks like one of Peter Ellenshaw's matte paintings for a movie or something. Lovely, lovely. I think I would spend a lot of time out here. It definitely, it's arts and crafts and kind of craftsman-ish, but it also has an old world European storybook vibe that I love. This place is extremely photogenic. Like, wow, this is very cool. This walkway is covered the entire way in and out, which makes a lot of sense for New England weather. Easy to see why they have named this place the Castle in the Clouds. There's also a basement tour, but that is a separate ticketed add-on. We didn't know that, and I guess they've done the last one for the day, which is weird because it's not even late. But That is the way it is. And the trolleys come and go every 15 minutes. I think it took like 3 or 4 minutes for the trolley ride up here. I see why they don't allow cars and that they do it this way. Makes a lot of sense. It's like when you go to Hearst Castle in California, you don't park right by it. You have to take a tram. That's quite a thing. Oh man, I miss Central California. It's a really nice area. In Hearst Castle, if you guys are on the West Coast. Definitely way grander than this as far as the home itself. But William Randolph Hearst was a very interesting character, and that place is gorgeous. I used to go all the time growing up there. My dad loved Central California and ended up moving to Pismo Beach. That was his dream. And but this just goes to show there is beauty everywhere. I've been to estates all across this country. They're all different and unique. It's hard not to compare sometimes. I know some of them may not be fair. Hearst Castle, this is not, but it's unique and beautiful in its own way.
All the resources up here too.
Yeah, that's great. This is the most fantastic, what would you call that, drainage?
Downspout.
Downspout, yes. See, that's why I need a boy around. I mean, where would you even go for something like that? You'd need
it on hand here.
I know.
Outside.
Now you would need it, I don't know. That's the thing.
It's all made from lead.
The quality, well, don't lick it. The quality of the craftsmanship of all the details is really what brings it all together. Many mickles make a muckle. Also applies to beautiful the trolley back down, or you can walk. Evidently it's like a 3-minute walk. I don't know how this is going to go. If there's a lot of cliffage and bugs, I may abort mission, but I think we're going to try it. So here we go.
Best view in New Hampshire.
It is the best view. That's awesome. Good call, Kay. Good call. Wow. The early 20th century really is a fascinating time. There was a real boom, and then of course a huge crash coming. We were kind of in another stage of trying to figure out where we were as a nation, and there was a lot of wealth popping up around the country. And you know, again, this is a really brilliant example of that, and the fact that this guy went from working his booty off in a shoe factory to owning said factory and building this place is quite amazing. There was a heated greenhouse over here. Does it say what happened to it?
Building, Lord, Company, New York, 1914. Small.
A deer got inside and wreaked havoc trying to escape. Okay, that's really funny. Where I work, across from us last week at a restaurant in Portsmouth, a deer actually crashed through the window of a restaurant just across from where I work and damaged the glass and went inside. So I know it made world news. Deers can in fact cause damage and crash through glass. So apparently that's what happened here as well. Well, this doesn't look bad. I just don't want a million bug bites, but I'm not worried about heights or anything. I'm doing a cliff and there's ropes for handles. The trolley lady, she was a piece of work. This is not like bad like she described. I'm glad that I wore sneakers with a dress today. But this is not like mountain climbing. To do serious hiking in the Pacific Northwest, and this is not serious hiking. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, the trolley lady, she made it clear that she wouldn't wait for anybody and that she was ready to leave. She was directing it towards another family that was in the process of, half of them were still buying tickets, and there was like kids and older people, and you could tell the people were flustered and they were trying to be polite, but this lady was like being quite aggressive about keeping to her time schedule. So, I mean, I'm sure she's just trying to keep order, but it came across a little bit harsh. I have to say that all the docents inside the house were very friendly and nice, so that's good. I just try to always give you guys, when we're doing, you know, places that are frequently visited by tourists or travel places or even, you know, historic sites, which this place kind of checks all those boxes. I always like to give you guys kind of a look at the way it works for you when you're visiting and my true opinion of a place. I don't ever want to be too negative or anything like that, but just so you guys know what you're getting into when you come and visit. I mean, of course, there are several people who drive the trolley, so it's not like you will necessarily get the same person we had, and I'm sure you get a variety of personalities. It's true no matter where you go. I just like to lay it all out for you guys so you know what you're getting into. And this was a very easy walk. I'm glad that we walked. Feels good to move around.
Gift shop's right over here.
It did take over an hour to get here from where we live on the New Hampshire seacoast. What do you think it was? An hour and 15, 20 minutes? Yeah, but it's cool.
Nice drive.
It is it's a beautiful drive, and
No
I mean,
traffic.
no traffic ever in New Hampshire, really. And we're in the Lakes District. It's beautiful. Enjoyed your tour? We certainly did. And we're kind of back to where we started. Visitor Center where we started. It's also the former carriage house. And site of the parking lot. This was fun. I'm going to ditch my sticker and we're going to move on down the road. See what else we can see. Come along with us. And just to recall the New Hampshire Heritage Museum Trail Passport Book, this is what I'm talking about. 21 historic sites, museums, etc. in the book, starting with Castle in the Clouds and ending number 21 with the Woodman Museum, where we started off with. They have a lot of them stamped off so far. The Wright Museum of World War II in Wolfboro, just down the road from here on the other side of Lake Winnipesaukee, was included in that, so we got a stamp for that one. As you may recall, we went to the Aviation Museum, that was part of it. Extensive trail system in here as well, and you can come and walk the trails for free. There's parking around. Just be advised again to kind of plot where you're going to go, because it's one way in and one way out on a one-lane road. But it's really beautiful grounds, and you can come and park and enjoy the outdoor recreation aspect of the estate. And this is what I mean when the plants lived here. They took full advantage of, built, and enjoyed horse riding and sledding, tennis, golf, and all this beautiful land that they acquired.
Here's one of the other places.
That's adorable.
The Maple Lodge, they call it.
That's adorable. I would enjoy something like this just as a little, like, second vacation cottage. That is so cute.
And they have
The same high quality lead windows in there. Really, really cute. It looks like they're doing some restoration on it. And as it turns out, it is 6 minutes from the base of the house to the town center of Moultonborough, so we're headed there. And when we first came in the car, the GPS said that we're actually like an hour and 35 minutes from home, so longer than I thought, but it's okay. I think the drive is so enjoyable that no one cares. And just driving, you know, a lot of this, even down here, was his. 6,000 acres is a lot of acreage. We just passed the country club that he owned when it was like his own private golf course. It's actually hard for me to fathom 6,000 acres. My mom owned 300 acres on the Oregon coast, and that was a lot. So I cannot imagine 6,000. Of course, my mom didn't have staff and stuff like that, and he had staff, and you can see why. It's just a lot to maintain. Forget about the house, the land alone. Like, love a good country store, and so we saw this and said, we have never been to the Moultonborough country store. We've got to stop. So we're gonna go in and check it out. Gosh, old country store and museum. I know what this is now. I have never been here. I've read about this. This is very cool. What a perfect thing to kind of just stumble on. Now I'm excited. We love country stores. This is gonna be a New Hampshire general store without a plethora of maple items. This is very cool. Gosh, there's a nickel machine. Now, if I remember right, this is like the oldest country store in New Hampshire, something like that. This is very cool. I love it. Look at Listen to these squeaky floors too. This is great. This is so cool. Stepping back in time.
Cool wallpaper they have on the wall. Classic.
I mean, I'm always stepping back in time, but this is makes it easy. This sort of homespun hometown little history museum above the country store. This is so great. Like, look at this bulletin board they've made here. Above picture, Mr. and Mrs. Ralph Goodwin on left, others not identified. Right picture, Mr. and Mrs. Ralph Goodwin. They owned and operated the store from 1917 to 1952. Oh, they're adorable. That guy scared the crap out of me. I turned around, I thought that there was like a guy sitting here. I mean, there is a guy sitting here, but he's not alive. That is so cool. That old store advertisement selling moccasins. I mean, this is a throwback.
Look, old movie, Rocky 3. Old newspaper they use.
It's so funny. This collection of blacksmith tools came from the SD Organ Company, Brattleboro, Vermont. Every good place has a picture of TR on the wall. One of my favorites. Theodore, do not call him Teddy Roosevelt. Liz and I were talking the other day about how much we miss Sagamore Hill and we want to return, try to find a way to get over to Oyster Bay, Long Island, Oyster Bay, founded by Kay's grandfather, Peter Wright, and became home of Theodore Roosevelt. He's also buried right down the road from his amazing home there, now a national park. One of our favorite places to visit. It's been a while. It's kind of hard to get to. You know, you kind of have to go through part of the city, through Queens, to get there, unless you take the ferry, which is also a long ride and sort of expensive, but worth it. So if I can find a way soon, you guys, I would love nothing more than to bring you to Theodore Roosevelt's Sagamore Hill. Drink Moxie. If you like bitter gentian root licorice. Okay, here's the thing. I actually am a black licorice girl. I love black licorice, but not with gentian root, herbs, and bittery carbonation. It's disgusting, my personal opinion. What I want to do is take you guys, I'll have to check and see if it's open again. It was closed for a while, to the Moxie Museum up in Maine, and they do a Moxie festival there as well, which, even though I don't like the stuff, I think it would be fun, and it's such a local thing. I'll look into that too.
$15 suits.
$15 suit. Oh my gosh. Our child would love this. So he's a vintage clothing guy, a big collector, and knows all about this stuff. Although, what is up with this? Scotch Woolen Mills. Okay, Scotch is a drink, not a woolen mill, or a person, or a thing, or a tape. Scotch is a drink, Scottish is a person. That should maybe read Scottish Woolen Mills, but whatever. Who am I to nitpick? Noah's always looking for vintage like catalogs, fabric samples, stuff like that. This is a really cool piece, and it looks like everything is intact, so that's awesome. Advertising pieces in here. Oh, a Springer Spaniel welcoming a soldier home. Not this trip, old pal, it says. Oh, Springer Spaniels always want to be where their people are. I know ours were mad that they didn't get to come out with us today. That's very sweet. World War I. This is really cool. A dye box. Salesman would go door to door with these. And there was different ones that were popular. Putnam Dyes, Diamond Dyes, there's a few companies. And the boxes have become quite collectible. I do know a lot about this stuff because both my parents, my mom still is and my dad was an avid collector, antique aficionado expert. And I grew up around a lot of this stuff, going to auctions and antique shows and sales and having this stuff in our house. So, see? Here is Diamond Dies. And so, yeah, they've got the two most popular ones here. This is like walking into an antique showcase, really, where nothing is for sale, but you can drool and dream. That's what this is. Let's go check out the store itself. I love these books that are like guides to different places. Here's what Kay needs. Maple sugaring in New Hampshire. Historic crimes and justice in Portsmouth. I know some people in Portsmouth that should be put away. I'm just kidding. Portsmouth is not the Portsmouth it once was. It's very nice. Wicked, New Hampshire. Some funny subject matter. History Lover's Guide to New Hampshire. There we go. Live for your die. John Stark. It's big and it goes on and on and on. They have mini Tonkas?
A whole bunch of them.
Ooh, I've been looking for good mini Tonkas. I know, I've been looking for mini Tonkas. Legit, if these were my size, I would get them. They don't have any in my size. So the hunt continues. Wowzers. This is a very good size general store.
This is so cool.
Oh my gosh, it goes back. What the heck?
And underpants for your hands.
Why?
It's the newest thing.
What?
Everybody's doing it.
I like how your voice is muffled. That is very adorable.
You don't want underpants for your hands?
No, that's weird.
It's not that weird.
Gosh,
Bigfoot poop?
squirrel in underpants.
I think that's the craziest thing.
Nathan needs that for his car. Pug in a peanut. Like, this stuff is so... Jackalope. I love this. Oh my gosh. Realize that they're called handerpants. Is that what you were saying? I think I was so caught up in your...
Underpants for your hands.
Yeah, I know, but the fact that they're called handerpants makes it 10 times more amazing.
I think everybody's wearing them now.
And I kind of love these. True general store because they generally have everything. They need to find some treats or something. My mom, she's gonna kill you.
No, but it's a long hoodie.
It's like a Snuggie thing. I don't do mornings. That's me. Well, those are cute. Be a New Hampshire general store without a plethora of moose and bear. We saw a bear the other day when we were leaving the Wright Museum of World War II when we were in Wolfboro, and I filmed that vlog. A big black bear walked right across the highway, right, like probably 20 feet in front of us. I said, "Oh, what's that?" And everybody went, "A bear." And I'm like, "Oh my!" He was really cute. He just kind of slowly stumbled across the highway in the middle of broad daylight. Oz just celebrated 50 years. We need to get to when are we going to Martha's Vineyard?
Martha's when the ferry's not packed.
I know. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. We had every intention. So we went to Bunker Hill on Saturday. Sunday, we wanted to go to Martha's Vineyard and see. They were like recreating Amity Island, even though that's fictitious. Like they did film it there. And we were going to go, and oh my gosh, this is super cute. The Highland Coop. I'm getting sidetracked. We were going to go, and the ferry was sold out. And I was like, no, like I was gonna surprise you guys and go and kind of see what was going on. Some of the actors were there and stuff, but apparently it was total chaos. And the ferry, like literally, we had no way of getting there. So now we know well in advance, and we've checked. We were like, let's try again this weekend. Still sold out. So I think summer's crazy. Maybe we go in the fall, but we're gonna do that soon. So. Gosh, I owe you guys a lot of places, don't I? The bucket list of to-dos is adding up, but it's kind of great. I look forward to it. I don't know what this is, but it almost looks like when people joke about a haggis, like being a real creature in itself. They put little images, and doesn't it look like a little haggis? Yeah. Don't eat the little haggis. Haggis is just spectacular sheep parts, but...
It's the best leftover parts of the sheep.
Oh, yeah.
Get it correct.
Oh, okay. I won't touch the stuff. This guy loves it. He'll eat a breakfast, lunch, and dinner when we're over in
It's the only
Scotland.
thing to have.
Me. Look what I made.
Always watching.
Oh my gosh. This just goes on and on. Never find me or Kay's name on one of these name things. Oh, this looks like our dearly departed Essie. We had a wiener dog, and she'd passed away a little bit before we moved here, and she was old, but we miss her. We've got the Springer Spaniels now, but you know, they're all different. Nothing can replace a little buddy that's gone to little buddy heaven. Where's the kitchen section? Cookie cutters. For a while I was on a real cookie cutter kick. Oh, I could make Jaws themed sugar cookies. The boys love sugar. Unfortunately, I'm an excellent baker. The icebox is honestly amazing. It's really funny. I have a giant cup that I use. This is so little. Something maple I've never seen. The candy as the old man on the mountain, who previously was in the Franconia Notch. He fell down a few years ago, but he's still on all of our license plates and road signs. Now he's immortalized in maple. Little Land Rover parked out here. Look at those sideways seats. Super fun. So Kay got cheese to snack on, like a smoked. He's always looking for a new fancy local smoked cheese. I got this little coaster for my car. This Highland Coo, and we got this. Where's that made? Vermont, I think.
Vermont.
Natural cola.
Chicken cow cola.
Now, on one hand, that place had everything, and on the other hand, they didn't really have food. And they had like cheeses and a couple sodas. They didn't even have iced tea or anything. So kind of different. A lot of like housewares and things, but not so heavy on the food. They had candies. That's about it. Hi. A couple funny things to note real quick about this particular video. First of all, when we were in the castle in the clouds in the house, I looked at my camera and at one point I noticed that it was on slow motion mode. I have no idea how it got on slow-mo mode. So I don't know if the beginning is even going to turn out, if it's going to be weird. If I can like unedit that, I don't think so. So it might be like, wow. I really don't know. This is the first for me. I have no idea how that happened. And it was like quite a bit of the intro, the trolley ride over, a visitor center, getting tickets, all that. I think it might have been on slow mode that entire time. So we'll have to see what happens there. So just putting this in as future me of past me was weird, which there's weird and then there's weird. Also, we just went into a gas station to get some iced teas, and there was like this big gnarly biker dude in there checking out, and he looked at Kay and he's like, "That's some Peaky Blinders stuff right there. Peaky Blinders." I mean, he's not completely wrong. It's almost like if he only knew, but it was funny. Yeah, so we are scooting on our way. You just never know what's going to happen when you're out filming. Alright, well that's going to do it. I hope that you guys enjoyed taking a look at Moultonborough, the castle in the clouds. Hey, there are a lot of new subscribers and I appreciate that so much. And if you are watching this, you might be going, what the heck? I thought she was a Rev War girl. I am a Rev War girl. The 18th century is my specialty, but I dabble, and on this channel we do all kinds of historical based trips and history events and all sorts of things. So sometimes it's a variety, though that is my area of expertise and my passion. I have a passion for all things historical and local travel and stuff like that. So don't be alarmed or dismayed. If this isn't for you, there's probably something for you coming up, and it'll be coming up soon because we are going to do something very Rev War related and relating back to the Battle of Bunker Hill as well very soon. So look forward to that in the coming days. And of course, like Patrick Henry, I know of no way of judging the future but by the past. I'm that history chick, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Liking, sharing, and subscribing also always super appreciated. You guys are awesome, and we will see you soon. Bye. Now this is a big boulder. This is the way.